All right, and we're up. Welcome everybody to the
This is Teddy Hart, giving a shout out to Dave Knows Wrestling on YouTube. Please watch.
Well, not really, only because there are.
This is Teddy Hart, giving a shout out to Dave Knows Wrestling on YouTube. Please watch his channel. I appreciate my fans. God bless you, my brother.
This is the gatekeeper, Kelly Klein.
All right, and today the special face here is Avi.
I am the aerial artist Zenshi, and Dave knows
The thing
wrestling.
we're going to be doing here today.
Yo, this is New Jack,
gonna be a
and
little
Dave
different
knows
because
wrestling.
We are doing a game called Who's Better. Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan, are you?
I used to
needed
be.
to build
Used
a
to be.
website,
I used to be.
I
But
have
you don't
no
really know
knowledge
anything
of
about the current product, or
websites
you don't really know the
whatsoever.
current players.
WordPress.com.
Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate.
I used to be.
It's a different debate.
I used to be.
But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate.
I used to be.
But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on, Game Freak? Who's better? Now, Avi is not a wrestling fan. It's a different debate. It's a different debate. But you don't really know anything. Hey, everyone. Hi there, Andrew. Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me now? Is this better? Anybody? Sound? Can you hear? Oh, great. On the internet's lagging. Can you hear me now? Okay. Is this better? Sound now. Do we have anybody? Yeah?
Yeah.
No sound? Sound?
Yes.
Can you hear? Yes. Wait,
Oh,
yes
great,
or no?
on the internet's
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Is this better?
Sound
Now?
now.
Do we have
Anybody?
sound? Yeah?
Finally
No
we-
sound? Sound?
Yes.
Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up?
No
sound? What is up,
Yes.
Jenna?
Can
you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up,
Yes.
Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is up? No sound? What is up, Jenna? Can you hear? Yes. Okay, good. Wait, yes or no? Can you hear me now? There we go. Is this better now? Do we have anybody? Yeah? What is us, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes. Wait, Jenna, no. Can you hear me now? Yo, is this sound normal? Yes. Yeah. What is up? What sound? What is this, Jenna? Can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, no sound. Can't hear your voice. Can't hear the voice.
Is it me that you can't hear? Is it because I'm not?
No,
Or
it's
is it
it's
Dave you can't hear?
it's not it's not you. It's not you. It's me.
Because I'm loud. I thought that maybe I'd catch the microphone from back here.
Wait, so talk, Albert.
Hi everybody.
Yeah, you catch just fine.
I thought so.
It worked. Oh wait, yes. Okay, good. Finally. Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Now, yet again, lobbying that we are all geniuses of broadcasting. Here we are. Thank you. Finally, it works. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for being patient. Thank you for the thumbs up anyway. That one thumbs down, I don't blame you, whoever you are. I wish it wasn't there.
I do. We made a mistake. Don't hold it against us.
Nobody touch anything. Nobody touch anything. Jenna. Well, hey, Train. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Sean. Hey, D. Dizzy. Hey, Mario. Fire your audio, dude. Should I blame you?
It's not me. It was you.
All right.
Dave can't fire himself.
Sure, I can.
Then who would do the show for you? Then you guys would have to just deal with me.
Right. Okay. So, hi to everyone. I was saying hi to you earlier, and you probably didn't make that out because of the distraction of all that. I blame the bleeding. Oh, no. I thought that said bleeding. It said something way worse.
Right. No, he's right. I have no hair.
Train and Albert have a bit of an ongoing thing.
We have a rivalry. I've only been here for 3 weeks, and already I'm hated.
What's your favorite color?
Me?
I don't know.
Green?
Black.
Avi. Blue.
Anyway, let's.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cowboy blue.
So now we know which Power Ranger everyone will be. Okay, so let's get moving on to. Dave does not know audio. Fair.
How's it going?
Hello from Louisiana. Hello. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me introduce everybody. Let me do the same thing I was doing earlier. Today we have a different show. We're going to be doing the Who's Better debate game. But as you know, I am David Lee, and as you may remember, Albert Albanese.
Hi, guys.
Joining us with the show, and today newcomer, this new face here is Avi. Say hello, Avi.
Hi, I'm Avi.
Okay, so Avi does not really understand, does not know, well, no, Oliver, I don't know you as well as I should, and you know what? That's a crying shame on my behalf, but everything I learned about you definitely tells me that you are awesome.
Except
Ovi?
the fact that he calls me
Ovi.
out.
Ovi? Avi. A-V-I.
Hey, well, yes. Like the audio stuff, which apparently I don't know that well. But so Avi here is not much of a wrestling fan nowadays. Okay, so no one touched on it. Don't worry, I don't plan on it. So Avi is not much of a wrestling fan these days. He used to be, so he has a basis, but he does not know much. Now, why do we have someone who's not in touch with the main product right now? Why do we have someone here? Well, we were going to play the Who's Better game. So, Albert, if you would do me a favor and pick up the bucket.
All right,
Okay.
guys.
So me and Albert are experts here when it comes to pro wrestling, as you know. So we have this green bucket. And what are we going to do with this green bucket? Well, we have 10 names of current wrestlers written down in the bucket. So what we're going to do is me and Albert are going to pick names at random. And no matter who we get, we have to make a case for our guy as being the best wrestler there is and try to convince Avi. And at the end of this game, Avi is going to have to make a decision who actually made the better case and who is the better wrestler. Now, this goes in several rounds. The first round will be our opening arguments. We are not allowed to interfere with each other. Me and Albert get 1 minute where we're allowed to talk all we want to make our opening case. Then the next minute is going to be then the next 5 minutes will be an open discussion between me and Albert. And then we're going to a Q&A where we get to ask each other questions about the other guy, trying to get them to slip up. And then Avi was allowed to ask us some questions in a new round. And then we will have a closing argument, 1 minute please. You lied to me last time. You told me your favorite color was black. I did say black. That's exactly what I said.
Well, why is if anything
He said
fails-
green.
Why is if anything fails, they have to blame me? I feel like that's really upsetting.
Eh,
I didn't do anything.
eh,
Sean didn't hear the controls, man.
Maybe that's the problem. Or maybe that's just how you thwart suspicion. Okay, so anyway. All right, so we have the bucket. You guys ready for our picks? You want to
go first.
I'm going to go first. Okay, I'm going to go first. I'm going to go first, but I'm not going to open it. What is more effective, the dragon screw neck whip
Hobby.
or dragon screw
Shake
leg
it up. No,
whip?
shake it up for me. Shake it up for me. I
Leg
don't
whip.
want to be.
Oh, neck whip, for sure. Neck whip, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely the neck whip.
Current
Should have
wrestlers.
old wrestlers. See that?
Well, he knows old
You know
wrestlers.
them. Yeah.
So that's the thing. We're trying to
Alright.
go on by.
Here we go.
Choose wisely.
Okay, we got our wrestlers.
Okay, so, all right, so,
Put that on the floor.
do you want to slide? Okay, do you want to make your opening argument first, or do you want
You want me? Now, am I?
I'll let you go ahead. Go first. Opening argument.
Did you see yours?
No.
Oh
Go
man.
ahead, make your
'cause-
opening argument.
Okay, guys, this is gonna be so much fun. So now, are we revealing who it is at first?
Yes.
All right, so that's where we're opening.
I can make an opening argument
Okay.
without that.
So guys,
And the camera's right there.
oh, it's right here, right? All right. So guys, my wrestler is all of your favorite wrestler of all time, Roman Reigns.
I've heard of him.
Okay, so you've heard of Roman Reigns.
He's pretty jacked, right?
He's a big dude. He's a
Yeah.
big Samoan dude. He's got this big tattoo
Yeah,
sleeve
yeah,
on his
okay.
arm.
All right.
The guy is.
I don't like him. No, I'm just kidding.
The guy's no joke. He's got. Look, you know, you're a wrestling fan, so it's entertainment based. So you want somebody to be the face of the company that's a good looking dude, you know, to put on there. It's like what we want to do for a living. We want to be like sportscasters. You always want to put, you know, a pretty good looking guy out in the front and everything. Roman Reigns is that kind of a guy. He may not be the best talker in the world, but what he makes up for it is the fact that in the ring, the guy is no nonsense. He is hard hitting. His finishing moves are just punching the guy straight in his face and football tackling him as hard as he possibly can. Looks like he breaks the guy in half.
Is he a good guy now or a bad guy?
He is. He's currently booked as a good guy.
Is he very popular?
He is popular in most circles.
Is he the most popular with the ladies?
He's very popular with the ladies. Probably the
That's
most
important.
popular wrestler with the girls.
That's important.
It is very important.
Time.
Okay.
All right. Reset.
Reset.
Okay. You want to work the time for me?
Yeah, let's do it. What am I doing? I'm hitting the timer button, right?
Yeah, okay. So that was Albert's opening argument for his man, Roman Reigns. Now, I have not opened mine yet. I still don't know, but it's time for my opening argument, and I'm going to do this. Start it as soon as I say the name.
Okay.
Nice. Very good. Okay. Start the timer. My client I am representing in this debate right now is the wonder that is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, KO. Now, this wrestler is one of the most popular wrestlers on the independent scene, and he came up to the WWE. He is a big man without a shadow of a doubt. He can take names, and despite his size, with roughly going from 280 pounds, but usually build around 260 pounds, he can do what is known as a 450 flip off of the top rope, spinning 450 degrees. He's athletic. He can talk on the microphone. He's highly entertaining. He has been working in this business for 15 years, was handed nothing. And on top of that, he's a true family man. He has a son with special needs that he takes care of all the time. So that's actually true. Okay. All right. Kevin Owens is one of the most popular wrestlers there is right now. And even as a bad guy, even as a despicable heel character, he is still insanely over with tons of merchandise sales.
Time.
That is my opening argument for Mr. Kevin Owens. All right, so Avi will have you slide down, and we'll have me and Albert going right now.
No,
We're doing it. Me and you.
It's all right.
It's an open discussion. Okay. All right, we'll keep you in there. Well, it's an open discussion.
We don't want to deprive everybody of Avi's space, so we can.
But you're not picking up as much because we're having an open discussion right now for the next 5 minutes.
Do you think I'm not going to pick up the microphone?
I'm looking at the levels.
I'm the loudest person in this room.
Okay, well, that's the Staten Island in you. All right, well, Avi, we'll have you start the timer so we can have a 5-minute discussion. Kill, Steen, kill. I like it.
Here we go. We're going. Okay, so you're arguing for Kevin Owens. Now, as you were saying, the best wrestler currently in the WWE right now. I absolutely think that if you're going to look at, put somebody on the front of cereal boxes or something like that, it's going to be a good-looking guy, a jack guy like Roman Reigns, not a guy like Kevin Owens. We started at the 1 minute mark. It's all right.
Oh, okay. What did you say? Okay. Putting a guy on a cereal box, first of all, the problem with your man, Roman Reigns, is despite what you claimed earlier, he's really not popular. People boo him all the time when he comes into it. You don't want him. People don't want him. You can't sell what no one wants.
That's probably why Roman Reigns t-shirt sales are actually selling always selling well. That's why he is popular with kids, with women, with some members of the male audience. Kevin Owens.
Some as in you.
Then that's fine, and I'll take it. Kevin Owens.
And you make it sound like he's universally accepted by children and women. That's also not true. You hear mostly boos in the stadium. That's not because the majority or even half of the population likes him. That's because most of the population does not like him. And furthermore, and continuing on that, who is one of as an independent before they went to the WWE, on the low scale level, who is one of the highest selling t-shirt sellers of all time in the independent scene? In
all fairness, Avi, the absolute audacity for him to bring that up is apparent because Roman Reigns never wrestled in the independent scene. He came up through the WWE system, was molded by the guys who make the decisions. The biggest guys, Vince McMahon, Triple H, molded him to be the it guy. Okay. If the people who know the most about wrestling wanted him to be the forefront of their company.
I'm just putting it this way. Merchandise sales on the independent scene usually don't make as much money as the mainstream. And Kevin Steen, his real name is Kevin Steen. He changed it to Kevin Owens. His t-shirts, Kill Steen Kill, he had a bunch of shirts. He became one of the most highest selling independent t-shirt sellers there was. So, and on the independent scene. So when you look at that, that's amazing. And that doesn't even include all the things he's done now that he's in the mainstream. But on top of that, who's your favorite baseball team of all time?
I'm a Mets fan.
How do you feel? Do you like the Yankees?
Yeah, I don't mind the Yankees.
How do you feel about their spending procedure?
Listen to the Yankees,
Okay,
they have the most money. They have the most money, so spend it.
But don't you respect someone a little more that's been brought from training on the ground up instead of just paying to buy somebody off?
Like the Astros, like what they did this year.
Yes. Isn't that more...
I like that story. I like those stories.
Yeah. Now, you look at Kevin Owens, he learned from the ground up, the hard road. He wasn't some guy who couldn't make it in the NFL like Roman Reigns, and then WWE says...
Brock Lesnar, too. Didn't make it.
No, well, there's a difference here. Brock Lesnar has an amateur wrestling background.
Right.
Roman Reigns does not. Okay. Brock Lesnar was groomed from college to be a professional wrestler because he is a wrestler. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, is a failure. Hey, you can jump in anytime you want, pal. Is a failure. Is a failure. Who WWE just likes the way he looks because they thought he was usable. But as an entertainer, as a wrestler,
that he says he's a failure is absolute.
How'd he do?
Crap.
How'd he do?
Because the man has held. Is what's called a Grand Slam champion in WWE, meaning he's.
I said he was a failure as a football player, as an NFL football player.
All 4 major titles. He was injured. That's why he couldn't play football anymore. It wasn't because he was terrible. It's because he got hurt and he had a career-ending injury. So let's talk about. Let's be fair here, Dave. First of all, Second of all, you look at a guy like Roman Reigns. He is a good-looking guy. He is classy. He does, he has a family himself. Dave wants to bring up family. He has a family himself who he takes care of very well too. Now maybe his kid doesn't have special needs. Not everybody has special needs, but he's still a family man. He's on the road every day, sacrificing more than just about anybody else because he's one of the top guys and he's going to be away from his family more because he has personal appearances to make. He does more stuff outside of wrestling than just doing what he does in the ring, which makes him one of those guys that people want to see.
But outside the ring, as like what? What does he do? For sacrifice, this guy has had his career handed to him for the most part.
Absolutely untrue. He earned his way up. He was built from the ground up by the guys who know more about wrestling than anybody else.
He was in the business.
Fans universally don't accept people like that because they feel that if you don't wrestle on the independent circuit, you're not worth your salt. And it happens to a lot of people. There's a lot of people who come up through the business, like John Cena, who you do know, who wasn't really a big of an independent wrestler before he came. Most of his training came from being within the WWE system.
And his father, because John Cena is the second generation. But that's not the point. The point is, Roman Reigns' career, when he started making the main event, was less than 3 years old. He was barely there. Kevin Owens was 15 years in. And he learned from not just one person's idea of what a good wrestler is. He learned from multiple people because he traveled around.
That's actually absolutely not true.
Okay,
You can't
fine.
say Roman Reigns didn't learn from just one person.
Okay, he learned.
How many trainers do they have in OVW?
From one source. He learned from the
And then
WWE
FCW.
system, which is the WWE system. Kevin Owens learned from different companies, multiple different companies, not just everything that's owned by one guy. So he has a more well-rounded career, which is what people like Albert's saying tend to like. We like a more robust kind of characteristic to it. And 15 years of experience versus 3? Just throwing that out there.
Experience doesn't matter.
So-
When a rookie... No, yeah, all right, we're at time.
Okay, so, all right, well, that was the 5-minute back and forth, and we haven't been keeping up with the chat. Let's just see where we're going. I like Roman Reigns. Spanked by Dave. What? Okay. What? Just going on.
Of course, you guys think I'm losing because you all don't like Roman Reigns.
Don't forget about his family, Albert. Then exactly the same with Roman booking. Okay. He should compare fan reactions with Jason Jordan and Roman Reigns. Do people hate Jordan because he never wrestled in Indies or pure WWE booking? See, well, that's a different debate. But
that's a different debate.
Because once again, like Brock Lesnar, Jason Jordan has an amateur background. He actually is a wrestler.
Okay, so what?
He knows wrestling moves. I think that's a foundation.
He knows amateur wrestling moves.
Okay, well, again, we go into the Q&A. First of all, what's up?
Okay, now, first of all, what's the age difference?
Age difference? They're around the same age.
Around the same age. What's their finishing moves?
So Roman Reigns' finishing move is a spear. So like a
Bill Goldberg style.
Yes.
Goldberg's my favorite wrestler of all time.
But that's not really his finish.
The spear is his finishing move. That's not the Superman punch. He finishes people over the spear.
So he stole it from Goldberg.
Yes.
He adopted it and made it his own.
Stole.
I love Goldberg.
Robbed. And doesn't give credit where credit is due.
Kevin Owens.
Okay, Kevin Owens finishes the pop-up powerbomb.
A powerbomb like Kevin Nash did, so he stole that from him just as much.
I mean, this is supposed to be the Q&A session with us, but if you want to hold on to that, or do you want to just go now?
No, whatever you want.
All right.
You guys can go.
Okay. All right. Now we'll have you continue your Q&A. We'll have you continue your Q&A because you're doing good.
Who do you compare each wrestler to back to when, let's say, when wrestling was really good? Who do you compare them to? If you had like a real comparison. And well, that's going to be a big decision maker here.
It's hard because the landscape has changed so much. I guess if you really wanted to compare somebody to Roman Reigns to somebody, it would probably be somebody like Goldberg. Came up through this. How is it not? Came up through the WCW system just like Reigns came up through the WWE system. Was booked to be a top tier wrestler because of his look, because of his size, because of his power, because of his tenacity, because of because of being a polarizing character. And they have a similar, not really that much of a similar, but a close to similar moveset.
Are you sure you're not a Hulk Hogan fan? Because I smell some cheap pandering to your target audience right now.
Absolutely
cheap pandering.
And name me somebody else that would have been a better choice. Is Reigns not almost very similar to?
I would compare Roman Reigns to a gym sock.
See,
I don't know who that is.
No. I mean, like an inanimate object that is good for nothing.
Oh, a gym sock.
Yes,
I thought it was an actual gym sock.
No,
okay.
yes, an actual
I thought it was a gym sock.
You know what? Okay, but you know what?
So who do you compare Kevin Owens?
Well, you know what? We'll do this game because you know what? Kevin Owens actually had a match with Bill Goldberg, and the Universal title for Raw was Kevin Owens dropped that to Goldberg. Goldberg beat Kevin Owens for the title, and this happened last year. So just throwing that out there. Okay, but who do I compare? Kevin Owens.
Couldn't beat him. Which means he probably couldn't beat Roman Reigns either. Just throwing that out there.
But obviously weird at wrestling's fake, so you're not going to help with this.
That's right.
Just throwing that out there.
Let's say Roman Reigns never got the
gym sock.
I thought it was Jim Sock. What would I know?
So
that is going to be my new wrestling name if I ever become a wrestler. I'm going to be Jim Sock.
I just gotta get a look at Kevin Owens. He looks like. I know what Roman Reigns looks like.
Okay.
Oh, no. I was gonna say this bias, but if you want, you're already doing it.
I just gotta see what the guy looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a big. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like a trailer park.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not the guy you want at the forefront of your company, right?
Yeah, but like I said, Roman Reigns are putting him in the driver's seat, and they're not doing that. But who do I compare it to? Who do I compare him to the most? I definitely compare him to, I'm going to say right now, even though he's still wrestling, Kane.
What?
Because Kane is a monster who's out there Who's out there? And Kevin Owens is definitely playing the monster type. Like, he's a big dude, this guy Kevin Owens, you can see. Weight-wise, they're probably in the area of each other.
Clearly one's more
Well, yeah.
fit.
No, absolutely. And yeah, Kane's way taller. But I'm just saying, Kevin Owens is kind of like that monster type. Except the difference is he's also funny. He's also hysterical on the microphone. So he's one of those guys.
And he's a bad guy. Do you really, like, when you're in a movie, do you really want to look for a guy who's really hysterical to make you laugh? You want him to intimidate you, right?
Never root for the bad guy.
Well, even still, even if you did see a bad guy who was like charismatic and energetic, do you want to make you laugh, or do you want him to fear you to fear him?
I want to fear him.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, what about the smart mouth bad guy who can talk you down? What about, like, Inglourious Bastards, Christoph Waltz's character, a bad guy who's bad because of how he talks and how he gets his way on things? How about that kind of bad guy? Because that's exactly what Kevin Owens is. Kevin Owens, in one particular match, he was going so overboard, and like I said, I brought up the Kane thing because he's also a monster. He beat Sami Zayn, this guy who was supposed to be his best friend, to the point where he was out injured, storyline-wise, for 2 months. After winning, his best friend won the championship. To reward him, he came down the ring and just pummeled him and beat him out for 2 months. And then
now instead of being a man and facing him one-on-one like Roman Reigns usually does, where he comes down and says, "Hey, I want to fight you for your belt. Let's do this fair."
Who has more titles?
Are we counting indie titles or just WWE?
Yeah, because that makes
What
sense.
the hell are indie titles?
Okay, so
Independent leagues.
Yeah,
No, WWE titles.
It's probably Reigns. Reigns has.
It is Reigns, but it's close.
It's not by a lot. Fair enough, it's not by a lot.
Okay.
Owens has 1 world title reign and
Universal, and he has
2 U.S. title reigns.
No, he has 3.
He has 3,
But he has like 2 IC reigns.
right? And Reigns has He has 2 tag
He has
reigns.
3 WWE, 2 tags, 1 IC,
IC
and 1 US.
and 1 US. Yeah, so they're close.
So again, good guy. Yours good guy.
Reigns is
bad guy.
He started off as a bad guy, but he transitioned into being a good guy.
But my question, so my question for you is, what do you like about a good guy versus a bad guy? If you think about it, if you have a bad guy or who's being cheered by most people, and then you have a good guy who's being mostly booed by the people, think about that for an example. Sure, on paper, they're classified as good guy and bad guy, but clearly one is someone that most people like, and the other is someone that most people hate.
That does matter.
We're talking about bad guys.
Yeah. I was by that. Well, yeah, you can read it. I'm just throwing that out there. See, like, this is not like this is at random.
Here's
Turning
the
my
thing.
head at random.
People get mad at Roman Reigns being given a title. It's the same as anybody being. It's sports entertainment. Everybody is given a title. Nobody theoretically is beating somebody real deal in real life for those belts. They're being given those titles by management. So at a point, Kevin Owens was trusted with being the Universal Champion 1 time. Roman Reigns was trusted with being the champion 3 separate times.
One of them he lost immediately after, and I mean immediately. Like, he won it, and then he lost it within minutes.
He won a match, and there's a thing called the Money in the Bank where you get an opportunity.
I know Money in the Bank.
Okay, so you get an
The
opportunity.
ladder.
Yeah, the guy cashed in right as soon as
cash
Roman
in,
Reigns won
and
it.
so he fought a 30-minute match, got the crap kicked out of him, won with his last gasp breath, and then somebody came in and pinned and cashed in and started the match right away and beat him.
Yeah,
right
so
away. So he had
entrusted
no
him 3 times.
So he
Entrusted.
had no chance to even. So that's how he lost
Stop
one of his
talking,
reigns.
stop talking like it's real. He had no chance. He was. He knows it's not real.
Doesn't make a difference. We're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying,
booking.
entrusted.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to win my argument.
He was entrusted for 3 minutes. And I'm being generous
Am-
about those
am-
3
am I
minutes.
winning? Am I not trying to win my argument?
You're
regardless.
trying, but
regardless.
I know he's smart enough that he knows it's not real, so that's why I'm not talking down to him.
I'm not talking down to him. I'm being serious.
You guys are making good arguments, though.
Okay.
This is tough.
All right, so let's get to obvious questions. I think.
Oh yeah, sorry, we got sidetracked, but
let's
well,
get to
do you have
obvious
any more questions
If
for
you
us?
have any
I don't know
more
if I have any more questions. I don't like how you said that he's a good guy.
Oh,
but
sorry, real
Yeah.
quick. All we gotta say is Roman Reigns took drugs. Kevin Owens did not. Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Cheater, huh?
Thank you,
and
Train.
it's kind of obvious because you can see how big he is.
Right.
I
mean,
No
they're all-
excuse. No excuse.
Right.
Did Bruno Sammartino take any drugs?
He was a bigger guy too.
But did he take drugs?
Probably not.
Aha!
It is an issue to me.
Probably. That must have hurt you saying
But
probably.
this wasn't-
Because I know you don't mean that.
No, forget that. It is an issue to me that he's a good guy, but you say nobody likes him. Really.
It's not nobody. It is okay. It's a large portion of the fan base, but the fan base doesn't like him specifically because he was put as a centerpiece of the organization.
Has he not lived up to those expectations?
I think that for the most part, in ring he has. On the microphone, he is. On the microphone, he hasn't. He isn't as good of a talker. I give the edge when it comes to talking on the microphone to Kevin Owens. I think in ring he's played the role that he's supposed to, being a big dude who comes out there and bashes your face in and just does it, but he does it the right way. He doesn't have to go out there and sneak attack people and beat the crap out of people in order to win belts. He comes out there and he challenges you straight up to your face.
You know, that's pretty funny. He talks about bashing someone in the face and sneak attacking. Well, this is exactly what happened. Kevin Owens himself was talking to Vince McMahon about in storyline, the unfairness of Shane McMahon, his son. So he looked Vince McMahon right in the face and said, I will sue you for everything that you got because of the way your son's treating me. And then Vince says, I will sue you. You won't win a lawsuit against me. The country is made for people like me to beat people like you. And Kevin Owens says, fine, I just want a match against your son. Shake on it and just tell me that I'm going to beat him up. So I just want your word that I could beat a McMahon as much as I want and not have any repercussions. They shook hands, and then Kevin Owens headbutted Vince McMahon in the face, for real. Vince McMahon drew blood. This actually happened on air. And Vince McMahon...
It really happened?
Yeah, that really happened. That really happened. So in terms of
he
bashing...
didn't get fired?
No, because it was the story. That was the story and that they wanted. It was a real headbutt, even though it was scripted. Like, they knew it was going to happen, but it was a real headbutt and real blood.
So see the man's a scum of the earth by attacking a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, I don't like that.
A defenseless 70-year-old man.
It was Vince's idea, because I'm bringing this up because clearly Vince is okay with. No, I'm bringing this up because Vince McMahon believes in this guy, and Vince McMahon tells you what to do. Vince McMahon was clearly showing Kevin Owens a lot of faith, saying, "I trust you to bust my face open." That's a pretty strong argument.
And I'm not denying that. But at the end of the day, the guy who is still being pushed to the forefront of the company, the guy who is currently the Intercontinental Champion of the world, the second highest ranked title on Monday Night Raw right now, the man is Roman Reigns. He was just in the main event. He's probably going to main event WrestleMania again against Brock Lesnar. He's going to be the guy who topples the biggest draw in professional wrestling over the past, you gotta say at least, 5 years? Lesnar is probably the biggest draw in wrestling. Who is
Cena is the only thing I got.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
I mean, I hear you. He's an option. Lesnar's a possibility.
Yeah. So
but,
and you talk about Cena being the biggest draw in the business. Roman Reigns defeated John Cena recently, clean, one-on-one. They haven't had a rematch. In all fairness, Kevin Owens did beat John Cena, but he also lost to him twice.
And also, talking about the main event of WrestleMania. Now, I was at WrestleMania 32, which was in Dallas, and the main event was Roman Reigns versus Triple H. It is considered by many, if not most, to be the worst main event of all time.
But the year
and I am one of them.
But the year after, he also wrestled The Undertaker in what was
considered one of the worst matches of all time, and the worst send-off for The Undertaker. He botched moves. Roman Reigns botched maneuvers. He couldn't actually do half of these things. He failed at it, and most people were considering.
He was also facing a 50-year-old man.
But it's
who had bad knees, who barely could even wrestle.
Yeah, but the year before, Undertaker had a match against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 32, and they didn't have any problems. But you're telling me Shane McMahon, a non-wrestler, didn't?
I love Shane McMahon.
But that's the thing. Shane McMahon's not really a wrestler, but yet they didn't have any problems. But what was supposed to happen?
Didn't have any problems. Shane McMahon looked like he didn't connect on half his punches. That match was the most boring Hell in a Cell match, with the exception of Shane McMahon jumping off the top of it that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They traded submissions for 15 minutes inside of a Hell in a Cell. That match was just as boring. You can't blame Roman
that
Reigns
is not
for that.
true at all. But anyway, Roman Reigns was supposed to reverse the Tombstone pile driver into another Tombstone and hit him. Roman Reigns couldn't buckle and couldn't compete with that. Couldn't actually reverse the move like he was supposed to. So yeah, he's a big guy. How come he couldn't do that?
Everybody makes mistakes. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions.
Right. Are you comparing to Tom Brady?
If you want to, no. I mean, I don't compare anybody to Tom Brady because I hate Tom Brady.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roman Reigns doesn't cheat.
I'm not arguing against Roman Reigns. I'm not doing it. I'm not losing this.
But no, Roman Reigns is Tom Brady. I'm down with this. This is like
your game.
You know there's a thing there.
All right, so let's move on to our closing arguments then, Dave.
Okay, I was gonna say we didn't.
All right, do you have any more questions?
I don't think I've heard enough.
Okay.
I have an idea of where I might go, but I want to hear your last.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't do the one-on-one Q&A yet.
Yeah, we did.
Well, kind of did. Okay, yeah, all right.
You guys are very convincing.
But do you have something for me? Is there something specific that you want to ask? That's why you're saying?
Yeah, I kind of. Well, no, I wanted the hot seat one-on-one grilling. Just ask.
Let's go then. Come on, real quick. Let's do it.
What do you? Well, do you have anything?
I'll let you go first. I'm sure I'll think of something.
All right.
Got to dodge some bullets right here, guys.
who is the most popular member of the Shield? The Shield is Roman Reigns' faction that he's currently in.
Probably the most popular. I mean, it's probably Rollins, maybe Ambrose.
Now, interesting how he said the most popular wrestler in WWE, and he just pointed out that he's not even the most popular guy in his faction. So I just want to point that out. Thank you. Thank you.
In all fairness, the reason why Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are more popular is because today's crop of wrestling fan. Today's crop of wrestling fan is more interested in what you've done before you've gotten to the WWE, not what you've done while you've been in the WWE.
And now take
Seth
note
Rollins and Dean Ambrose, just like Kevin Owens, were all very big on the independent scene. They had a big following before they broke into the business, something that Roman Reigns was never afforded because he grew up in the WWE system. When Roman Reigns did debut with the Shield, he was by and large at least on equal to the other two guys. Two guys who had a big following. Roman Reigns was just as popular as those two guys, and he'd only been seen on television by most of the majority of those fans for about 4 or 5 months. To a point where when he was getting tagged in, he was getting probably the loudest reaction out of every member of the Shield, especially when they turned good. And when they did eventually turn good, and they faced off against Evolution, guys who you probably know, Triple H, you know Batista, you know Randy Orton, right? You know those guys.
Of course.
Roman Reigns was the guy who picked up the win on both of those matches, pinning Batista in the last one that I was there at live. It was one of the best matches that the Shield as a trio has ever had, and got one of the loudest reactions I've ever seen in the history of being at a live show, and I've been to many.
I just want to point certain things out. Notice he didn't say best; he just said loudest. Second of all, and he said Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. He didn't name so just to be clear, he named 2 people. So now you know that he's not even the most popular guy. He's not even the second most popular guy in this match. I just wanted that to be known.
But when they first debuted, he was on the same level. The only reason why he was disrespected,
yes, when no one knew who they were,
is because everybody knew who Ambrose and Rollins were.
But you said right now.
The only reason why Reigns is hated so much is the fact that they felt like they put more focus on Roman Reigns than they have on some of the other guys who they consider to be indie darlings that deserve more of a top spot because they've toiled in the indies for 15 years. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon has said over and over again, and every person who's ever been interviewed by Vince McMahon has said that when you make it to the WWE, it doesn't matter what you've done or accomplished before then, you are torn down at that door and remade into WWE's image. Roman Reigns was never afforded the opportunity to even be torn down and remade. He was just tooled from the bottom, from the people who they thought were the best in the business to make him who they want to be.
All right, do you have any Albert's argument is...
What did he say?
Train, you're amazing. Albert's argument is so boring, kidnappers used it to put people to sleep. Do you have any questions for me, since that was my question? I was just going to go for that.
If you were going to choose a professional wrestler to make public appearances, somebody who you want to represent the aura of the WWE, somebody who you want to make, to show this is what we are. Are you going to choose Kevin Owens, a guy who looks like who wears cut-off shorts and cut-off shirts, or Roman Reigns, who looks like a legit badass who can beat the crap out of anybody in the world? Because remember, this is a publicly traded company.
It's an easy question to ask. Now, first of all, he makes it sound like clothes don't change. Kevin Owens has worn suits on TV, and he's done it a bunch of times. So let's just move the clothes thing past. Fine, you saw a picture of him in, gym clothes, but he wears suits. He's done it. Second of all,
doesn't look good in them.
I'm not. First of all, I'm also not going to be weight shaming or judging him on that, body shaming like Albert. But I will say this: when you want to talk about a public figure, as he pointed out, Albert himself has said it. Roman Reigns, no good on the mic. Kevin Owens, way better. I want a guy who can talk. He does on Twitter. He also doesn't get into fights with people on Twitter. He doesn't get any arguments. That's not playful. He knows how to present himself. He knows how to speak publicly. He knows how to get his point across. He knows how to sell things. It's why he's popular. He makes his cases and sells the story and is committable. And no matter what it is, even dealing with trolls on the internet who say bad things about his family, he responds politely and understanding, in respect, and doesn't go too far. He always knows how to deal with the people. I want a guy who's speaking publicly, who knows how to handle things. I want that guy to be the face of my franchise instead of some guy who can't talk and stands there groaning. And especially if you are a publicly traded company like the WWE, which Vince McMahon has wanted recently, you want a public image where you're not a group of dumb lunkheads. You want to present yourself as a company, which is why John Cena wears suits in public. This is why NFL players wear suits in public for press conferences, because you want to project an image of intelligence. And Kevin Owens is definitely smarter than Roman Reigns.
The fact that he sits there and he says stuff like Kevin Owens is better, is more personable and stuff like that, The only reason why Roman Reigns has failed numerous times when it comes in attempts to get over with the fans and on the microphone is because his lines are being written for him. If he was allowed to be the person that he wanted to be and allowed to say the things he wanted to say from the beginning, he would have been afforded a lot better of a chance than rather than having a bunch of people dumb what he's done down and not let him be the person that he wants to be. He's spoken in public before. He's done a great job on interview segments. He's done a great job representing the company. He's a company guy to the core, always speaks highly of the company he works for, always makes sure to mention that he is the champion of one of the a champion of one of the best companies that that there is out there. He's not a dumb jock like Dave is going to portray him. He's a smart man. He knows what he's talking about. He's just the same as he wants to talk about people on Twitter. Roman's never gotten into an argument with anybody on Twitter. He's never gotten into anything. He's never gone too far with anybody. And he has probably people who hate him for no real reason more than anybody else in the professional wrestling business. More people to talk negatively to him than a guy like Kevin Owens, and he still handles it with dignity and respect.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that Roman doesn't start a lot of stuff on Twitter either, but he's going to talk about how, once again, the independent scene that Albert doesn't want to acknowledge, but he had 15 years of him talking without anyone writing his lines in the WWE like Albert's claiming. He did just fine back then, too. He was better on the mic then. It's not because people are writing like he's claiming.
I didn't discount anything. Did I say anything negative about
you
the way
said
Kevin
the reason
Owens
why
spoke?
you said
I said the reason why Reigns was watered down was because his lines were written for him. I said nothing about Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
I'm not arguing that.
Well, exactly.
I'm not arguing
but we don't know. But we don't know. So Kevin
Owens had 15 years of experience to work off a character and to make himself who he wanted to be. Roman Reigns had 5, and in 5 years he's done a lot more of an improving factor than most other people.
But the same writers, for some reason, one turns out gold, the other can't. And we know that even without the writers, Kevin Owens can, but we don't know. But we don't know.
Because we haven't gotten that opportunity.
Oh, but I thought you said Kevin Owens wasn't as trusted as Roman Reigns. So, wait a minute. How is that possible? Because Owens is being entrusted with given more leeway. I thought you said that Roman Reigns was the guy Vince McMahon trusted. Hold on here.
Because no matter how much you trust somebody, there's still a matter of trying to form fit somebody into a spot that you feel that they should be, that you take a lot more liberties with that person. It's the same thing as like a rookie quarterback gets brought up out of the NFL. Yeah. He doesn't start week 1. He's put on the bench for a year, even though they know that he's going to be groomed to be the starter in that system. And you sit there and you learn from the guy in front of you. So what they're doing is they took their time and they're micromanaging somebody because they know that in the long haul, this is the guy who they want to be at the top. He's supposed to be that starting quarterback.
All right, so do you have any other questions for me?
I'm free of questions. Do you have any?
There's a lot to digest.
Yeah, you want to go into the closing argument?
Let's go into the closing argument.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Who's first?
Dave, I'll give you the honors.
Okay.
In 5,
this is 1 minute.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Who would you rather have? Kevin Owens, who was also handpicked by Triple H and Vince McMahon and the WWE from the independent scene because they saw what he did and they liked it. And they decided to handpick him to be their chosen champion and bring him up to the main roster. They knew what he had already. So he's not the only one who was chosen. Okay, Roman Reigns wasn't it. Kevin Owens, on the other hand, was chosen. He was also chosen to win the strap. And unlike my opponent, my worthy opponent who decides to, pretend like you don't know that wrestling is fake, they chose him for all these same accolades. They gave him these accolades repeatedly. They trusted him with the physical injury of Vince McMahon saying, headbutt me, I trust you physically. And also give him more leeway on the mic because they trust his skill on the mic. Instead of babying this other guy because they know he needs all the help in the world he can possibly get. Kevin Owens earned his stripes from the independent scene all the way to now. He's more popular. Every time we look over, someone is bad-mouthing Roman Reigns and everyone's backing up Kevin Owens. Popularity, actual ring ability, actual skill. He has more moves. Okay.
I just saw something commented. It was really funny. Didn't Vince kick Roman Reigns in the balls?
Yes.
Is that true? It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I'm not going to deny the fact that it's always humorous.
This is a
okay.
You guys are good. You guys know your stuff. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Reset and coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dave makes a point that Kevin Owens was put into a position of being trusted as being champion because he was the guy that they were planning. When the truth is the reason why Kevin Owens actually won the heavyweight championship was that the guy who actually had the belt was injured, so he had to vacate it. So they had to go with Plan B. Kevin Owens was always a Plan B. He was never Plan A. He was never the guy who was going to be picked to being the top guy. Roman Reigns was handcrafted, and he was seen at one point, and they looked at him and they said, this is the guy I want to trust. This is the guy that I want to put in the forefront of my company. I want to represent the WWE with this guy right here. I want him to be the guy that goes on all these shows, that goes in the front of these audiences and captivates them, because he's a big dude. He's a nasty looking dude. He looks like he can beat the crap out of somebody. It doesn't look like he just woke up out of a trailer and just, decided that he was going to put on a pair of trunks and be a wrestler. Roman Reigns is the quintessential athlete who you would want to put at the front of your company. Boom, there's my minute.
Damn, that was good. Well done. All right, so do you need time to think, Albie?
I have an idea
What's that?
of where I'm going.
If you want time to think, we'll just read off the other names that we...
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that.
Sure,
right.
yeah,
Deliberate?
go ahead.
Yeah, deliberate. Okay,
So-
guys, and we'll read up the chat, too.
So Dave and I chose 5 names each of who we were gonna
Who we're going to write
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay, so, Steven, what about... Oh, let's catch up with the chat. Jenna or a beat up Albert Reyes? This is so fun. Office chair scoot. We're close to it. Okay, so here's some of the other names we could have picked from the hat. Shinsuke Nakamura.
That was Dave's idea.
That was mine. Albert is rambling down the
That's
tracks.
a good name.
Being rude to trailer park people. Yeah, you are.
Fair enough. Listen, I have nothing against people who live in a trailer park. I just needed to make an argument.
I did say he looked like Trailer Park. I did say that
You
originally.
did.
You didn't say
You
anything
did.
about him.
Yeah.
The Miz.
That
I know him.
Oh, you know The Miz?
I know the Miz. Yeah.
Okay.
Albert looks like a guy who worked in the kitchen at Hooters back in my... I think that's a compliment.
I mean,
I think.
I worked in a restaurant and a kitchen at one point. I mean, if you want to go there, I mean,
AJ Styles, another option.
that was one of mine.
I would have picked him if you didn't.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think we would have picked each other's.
Yeah.
You know, we picked 10 guys who we like. Orton was like the other guy that we were gonna maybe pick, but we realized that Avi probably knew who Randy Orton was, and he does. So
Of course.
yeah,
Another one of mine, Bray Wyatt. Cena doesn't wear boots.
he does not.
Is Jim Sock in there?
He will be.
Sock is in there.
Jinder Mahal.
That was one of Dave's.
What are these names?
I was really hoping I got Jinder, to be honest. I really think I could have made a really good argument to somebody who doesn't watch wrestling.
Just by name alone, I go with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Seth Rollins, one of Albert's.
Yeah, my favorite wrestler on the roster right now. So for everybody who sits there and tells me I have an aversion to indie guys,
Interesting. Data.
this argument's over.
Braun Strowman. You spelled Braun wrong, dude.
Did I put a W instead of a U? I do it all the time.
That's fine. There's somebody else's name I spelled wrong. I can't remember off the top. I can't spell the word restaurant.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I think we all have those.
And I've worked in restaurants, and I still can't spell restaurant. Dean Ambrose, also yours.
Yep. So there we go. Those are the other guys. So, Avi,
Well,
Floor is yours.
he's on there.
man, you guys make really good arguments. You guys are really, really good. You obviously know your wrestling. I kind of understood what you guys were saying. I don't like that Roman Reigns is not liked by the fans. He is he seems like he's definitely the face. He could be the face of wrestling. He's obviously got the look more than Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that. I know this is you're trying to convince me. You're trying to make good arguments, but I don't believe that you believe that he's better than Kevin Owens. I don't believe it. I know you somewhat. I know you for over a year now.
You do.
You make great arguments. I don't like that he took Bill Goldberg's spear. I don't like that. I don't like that.
He didn't take
Obviously, Kevin Owens doesn't have the look, but I believe that I know nothing about the guy. You say he can speak in the mic. I like that a lot. That he's good like that. It seems like Roman Reigns is like the doofus.
It's not
But-
really a doofus, but
Right.
yeah.
But I don't believe that you believe it. I don't believe it. I have a feeling about this that you don't believe that he's better than Kevin Owens.
I think he's a better face for a company if you want to.
I agree with that. Okay, definitely. But
yeah.
okay, that's fine. But on that alone, I just can't get past that. I'm going with Dave here.
Yes!
I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Yes!
I love you, Albert. I love you. But on this one, I'm going with
Albert.
him. You are
Good
great.
brothers.
But
Avi, you're the man.
In all fairness, he is 110% right.
Yes.
I love Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. That was hard for me to do.
Albert, I could see it in your face. You're like, fuck, I can't believe it. But you did a great job. You did a great job.
You wanted the challenge. He wrote.
I
wrote-
wanted to see if I can put Roman over. I really did.
For the record, he wrote Roman Reigns and I wrote Kevin Owens. Dave won. Albert nil.
Albert you did a great job. You both did a great job.
Hey,
But I had to go.
Avi, thank you.
That's all. That was fun. That was fun.
That was very fun.
But you did a great job.
All good,
Great
dog.
job,
I'm
man.
lame hanging out with the dog. Big Dave Cool beats
I could see
Tensai.
BS when I could see BS. When,
Look, in all honesty, there were a lot of things that I said that were very true about
Right.
Roman Reigns. I just, as much as that is true,
Yeah.
I just think Kevin Owens is.
There's some things he believes in, but there are other things I know he was lying on. I was like,
Okay.
you're so full of it.
okay. Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair. You're right.
I played the card where I wasn't going to lie because I knew he
I didn't
called.
lie. I didn't lie. Nothing I said was a lie. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. I may have just
Embellished a bit.
I just may have not put,
I knew that if I did the same, you were calling me out on it, so I just steered clear of it. I'm like, I'll just say what's true. I'll just leave it out there and say things that are definitely facts that I feel.
I don't think I said anything that wasn't exactly factual. I just think
Is
that
it-
all those arguments are invalid because Kevin Owens is better. It's just the truth. Except for the fact that I think Roman looks like a person that I would stick. Like I wish I could put Owens' brain in Reigns' body, and then we'd be good.
Hey,
Albert
Dave, killed it, though.
He
Great
did.
job.
Albert killed it. He did.
Thank you. Who said that? So
Jenna.
I can call him out by name?
Jenna.
Jenna, thank you. I appreciate that.
Dave Taylor crushes hip hop hippo in the debate. Is that a reference to something I don't
When I
get?
smell
Hip Hop
BS, I
Hippo
call it out.
was
Even Albert can't put Roman Reigns over.
I tried, guys. Look, I know none of you guys are big Roman Reigns fans. You got to give me credit. I really tried. I think I did a pretty.
I'm proud of
good-
myself, though.
Yeah,
No,
You're
I'm-
the right guy.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Well, you did a great job.
picked the right
I
guy.
could just see
You
it in
did.
your face, man. You were trying hard. You were trying the best
I
you
really
could.
was. I tried as hard as
There
I
was.
could.
I don't know if there's anything you could have done. I don't know.
I don't know if there was either.
I wish
really
you had
don't.
somebody else. Maybe you had
Yeah,
somebody else.
Albert, why are you body shaming? Train would
I'm
like to know.
definitely not body shaming. Look at that. There is no reason why I'd be body shaming anybody. I'm just saying that WWE is a publicly traded company. You want somebody who looks the part. That's all I was saying. Look at that. Look at that jiggle right there. Terrible.
Kane Yo-Yo. Hey, Kane
We're on
Yo-Yo.
a delay, by the
I
way.
don't
That's why I'm
know.
saying, look at that
Yeah,
jiggle.
it is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, but the holiday season I'll be going around wishing everybody happy Rusev Day.
Happy
and
Rusev Day, everybody.
Scott Steiner promos on Reigns. I do feel bad because normally we interact with these guys a little more. And we were since we were debating, we weren't getting to interact with them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
So now they're kind of talking about themselves. I don't
We
blame
got
them.
heated.
Give them the okay. Scott Steiner promos is greater than Jinder Mahal promos.
Scott Steiner promos are better than half of them because it's unpredictable.
I say, well, Avi, how'd you? Thank you for coming on, Avi.
Oh yeah, anytime. This is great. You guys know the most wrestling I think anybody I ever known.
Thank you.
That is
You
a
guys
really
did.
big compliment.
You guys did a great job. This would be fun. We should talk about maybe quarterbacks. This would be.
Yeah.
This is a,
Oh,
this is a good
it's a
idea.
fun game.
This is a
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
game.
That's how
I
I
started. We should do it with.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
All right.
That's how you start with this. Now, all right, guys.
Wait,
thank
first of
you-
all, last
yeah.
thing. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay,
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Macho Man.
It's Jericho, Bret Hart, and Macho Man are like 1A, 1B,
Jericho.
and 1C.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
But Jericho
Stone
is
Cold,
my favorite
yeah.
of all time.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yo, Train, you own him too.
I don't like the fact that look, you know what? Screw it. I'm alright with being the heel of this show. It's fair enough.
Raw or SmackDown women. Okay, yep. Glory Pro Wrestling, St. Louis. Check them out. Okay, well, Albert, good job and enjoy the donuts.
I had 2 donuts for breakfast. I don't know how you knew that, but thank you.
all right.
I mean, Yavi, I think you're the most in shape here, so I think
Avi runs friggin'
you do, don't you?
Tough
Yeah,
Mudders.
Tough Mudders.
I work out.
I don't know what
5
He did
days a week.
8-mile Tough
10 mile,
Mudder,
10 mile.
10-mile Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
He works out with a personal trainer. He kickboxes.
Yeah, I do.
The kid's a monster.
I do.
I can't.
Yeah, that's not fair. We can't.
Yeah,
compare.
I can't compete with that. Dave, how'd that military diet go for you, though?
Oh, I didn't tell you. Yeah, so on day 3 for lunch, I was supposed to have a hard-boiled egg, and I squashed it because I was so hungry trying to open it. And then I made another one. I said, okay, I'll make another one. Then I destroyed that one too. Then I got so mad, I said, I'm done. And I went out and got tacos.
You broke your streak
Oh,
with
yeah.
tacos? Much respect. If
Well, that's how it started. And
anything,
then
go with tacos.
immediately after I had hot dogs. And then I had a burger and fries.
That's the way to do it.
So, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was so angry. Fire Albert and fly Oliver over. And I wasn't checking. Has anyone commented and saying that Avi was attractive? Has anyone pointed that out yet? Has anyone said that? Just asking the court. Oh, and thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Dave doesn't know anything about a good hot dog. Oh, don't start. He's a Chicago hot dog guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's always
Hey,
yelling
you
at me
can't.
saying that.
All right.
It's weird. Mayo and like tomatoes and a pickle on it. It's strange.
No, yeah. No, it's not a hot dog.
Yeah. I mean, we're all New York. We're all like New York people. So we're no. He's a cutie, all right. See, one. There you go.
All right.
Because Mike has been on the show. Mike has been called cute.
That's not a dude, is it?
I'm out.
Yeah, yes. But military diets make people cranky. Yes, they do. Avi is a stud. See?
it's all
Because
guys.
Mike has
What
been
about
brought up. Mike has been brought up as cute. Jess was on. She was cute. So I'm just pointing this out that the trend continues. I was just checking.
Yeah. The trend continues and nobody thinks I'm attractive. Thanks, Dave.
All right. Well, thank you. It's been great. Avi, thank you again for coming
Thank you.
on. Albert,
great.
it was a pleasure. Good
It was
debate.
a great debate. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate
it's
it.
true.
Maybe next time I come on here, I'm going to be really much of a bigger heel.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to be like attractive, showing off your gut probably wasn't helping.
Hey, fair enough. Showing off my bald spot isn't helping either. I can't help that.
Well, thank you everybody for coming on, and let me know in the comments if you like this format or not. If you want us to do this again, hopefully you had a good time, and thank you for all the thumbs up and all the support. You guys are great. Thank you for coming on. Seriously, thank you for enjoying this debate, and I'll catch you next time. And as always, Dave.